Hi, I'm Tim. This is the fourth in a series of lessons that will help you learn how to play blues guitar. In this one, we'll use what we learned in lessons 1 and 2 and apply it to playing the blues in other keys. We'll also review 2 bar chord shapes that you can use when playing the blues in other keys. If you're not familiar with bar chords, you can review basic guitar lessons 7 and 8, where they're covered in detail. Or check out the glossary at the top right of your screen for a quick refresher. Make sure your guitar is in tune, and let's get started. Bar chords are an easy way to play a chord anywhere on the guitar neck. Using just a few shapes, you can move bar chords up and down the neck to easily play in any key. So by learning the 12-bar blues using bar chords, you can play the blues in any key. We'll start by reviewing the 6th string bar chord. It's based on the open E chord, but with a different fingering. Start with your 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Your 4th finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Your 2nd finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, keeping the 1st and 2nd strings open. We can make this a 7th chord by lifting the 4th finger on the 4th string. You can hear that this is the same E7 chord we have played before, but just using different fingering. Once you have that, slide this shape up and bar your 1st finger across the 3rd fret. Since this is a 6th string bar chord, and your 1st finger is barring G at the 3rd fret, this is a G7 chord. If you slide that shape up 2 more frets, so your 1st finger is barring the A, you get an A7 chord. Now we'll do the same thing for a 5th string bar chord. Play the A7 you learned in previous lessons, but this time using your 3rd and 4th fingers, starting with your 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and your 4th finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, keeping the 1st and 3rd strings open. Now slide that shape up and bar your 1st finger across the 3rd fret. Since this is a 5th string bar chord, and your 1st finger is barring at the C on the 3rd fret, this is a C7 chord. Now slide up 2 more frets to the 5th fret to play a D7 bar chord. And by sliding up 2 more frets, you get an E7 5th string bar chord. By learning these 2 bar chord shapes, you'll be able to play a 7th chord with any root by just moving the shape to different places on the neck. Bar chords aren't easy to play at first, especially if you're playing a steel string acoustic guitar. It takes a lot of finger strength to hold down your 1st finger over all the strings. But keep working on it, and after a few weeks of practicing bar chords, your fingers will get stronger, and you'll be able to make these chords sound good. To know the names of the 5th and 6th string bar chords, you need to know the names of the notes on the 5th and 6th strings of the guitar. Let's start with the 6th string. When you play an open E chord, the open E on the 6th string is the root, and that's what gives the chord its name. For 6th string bar chords, the note on the 6th string under your 1st finger is always the root. So let's look at the notes on the 6th string. Open is E. The 1st fret is F. The 3rd fret is G, which usually has a fret marker. The 5th fret is A, and also has a fret marker. And the 7th fret is B, which has a fret marker as well. Most guitars have markers at the 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, and 12th frets to guide you. Since the root of the 6th string bar chord is the note under your 1st finger on the 6th string, when we play the 6th string bar chord at the 1st fret, we're playing an F7. A G7 at the 3rd fret, an A7 at the 5th fret, and a B7 at the 7th fret. You can name the notes on the frets in between these using flats or sharps. So sliding the chord down 1 fret from the A, is an A-flat 7 bar chord. You can also call this chord G-sharp 7 since it's one step above G on the 3rd fret. Let's look at the notes on the 5th string. The open string is an A. The 2nd fret is a B. The 3rd fret, C. D at the 5th fret. And E at the 7th fret. Like a 6th string bar chord, the name of the 5th string bar chord comes from the root note under the 1st finger on the 5th string. So B7 at the 2nd fret, C7 at the 3rd fret, D7 at the 5th fret, and E7 at the 7th fret. And just like the 6th string, the notes in between can be named using sharps and flats. So moving the E7 one fret down to the 6th fret gives us an E-flat 7. If you ever need to review any of the note names on the guitar neck, you can check the glossary. All you have to remember is that with 6th and 5th string bar chords, the note under your 1st finger gives the chord its name. You've already learned how to play the 12-bar blues chord progression in A using open chords. Now you can use 5th and 6th string bar chords to play that same 12-bar blues in A. The 1 chord in this 12-bar progression is A. To find an A on the 6th string, we work our way up. E, F, G, and at the 5th fret is an A. You can build an A7 6th string bar chord on that fret with your 1st finger at the root. Now that you know where the 1 chord is on the 6th string, there's an easy trick to finding the 4 chord. If the 1 chord is a 6th string bar, the 4 chord will always be a 5th string bar at the same fret. In the key of A, that's a D7. And once you have the 4 chord, the 5 is easy to find. You just move the 4 chord up 2 frets to E7. Now let's try playing the 12-bar blues in A using these bar chords in a 4-to-the-bar strumming pattern, starting on a 6th string A7 bar chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the same 12-bar blues progression in A that we played in the first lesson, but it's just using different chord shapes. Now that we know the relationship of the 1, 4, and 5 chords using 5th and 6th string bar shapes, let's play a 12-bar blues in G. First, let's find the root on the 6th string. From open E, we move up to F, then G on the 3rd fret, and build our G7 6th string bar chord. To get to the 4 chord, we simply play a 5th string bar chord on the same fret, in this case, a C7. And for the 5 chord, we move that shape up 2 frets to the 5th fret for a D7. Now we're ready to play a 12-bar blues in G. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see that the progression is exactly the same, only it's moved down 2 frets, or musically speaking, transposed from the key of A to the key of G. Let's use these bar chords to play the blues in one more key, this time B flat. First, find the root on the 6th string. Open E, F, G, A, B. Now from the B, we move down 1 fret to B flat at the 6th fret. Start with a B flat 7 bar chord there. A 5th string bar chord on the same fret gives us the 4 chord, an E flat 7. And move that up 2 frets to the 8th for an F7, the 5 chord in the key of B flat. Now let's give the B flat blues a try. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you're playing the 12-bar blues starting with a 6th string bar chord, the 1, 4, and 5 chords relate to each other the same way no matter where you are on the neck of the guitar. Now let's take a look at playing the blues in the key of E. E is a very popular key for guitar-based blues because there are a lot of open strings that fit the chord progression that can be used for playing riffs and solos. In fact, many blues songs are in E or A for this reason. Just like the key of A, you can play the blues in E with open chords and with bar chords. Let's start by using open chords first. We already know the E7 chord from the A blues, where it functioned as the 5 chord. The 4 chord is the same A7 we learned in Lesson 1. And the 5 chord is a B7. For the B7, we'll use a 5th string bar chord shape, up on the 2nd fret, like this. Let's give the E blues a try using these shapes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's play the same E chord blues progression, but using all bar chords. This time, we'll use an E7 bar chord on the 5th string. To find the E, we move up on the 5th string, A, B, C, D, to E on the 7th fret. So our 1 chord, the E7 chord, is now a 5th string bar chord at the 7th fret. When the 1 chord is a 5th string bar chord as opposed to a 6th string bar chord, the 4 chord is no longer on the same fret, but the 5 chord is. In this case, a B7 6th string bar chord at the 7th fret. Now to find the 4 chord, we move this shape down 2 frets to an A7. So we have an E7 5th string bar at the 7th fret, an A7 6th string bar at the 5th fret, and a B7 6th string bar at the 7th fret. Just remember, when the 1 chord is a 5th string bar chord instead of a 6th string bar chord, The placement of the chords on the neck is a little different than we played before, but the chord progression is the same. Let's give the E blues a try using bar chords starting on the 5th string E7 bar chord at the 7th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that you know patterns for the 12-bar blues starting with 5th string bar chords and 6th string bar chords, you can play it anywhere on the guitar neck. As we learned in Lesson 2, the minor pentatonic scale is the basis for many blues riffs and solos. So far, we've learned the scale in the key of A. And like bar chords, it's very easy to move this pattern of notes up and down the neck to play the scale in other keys. To review, let's play the A minor pentatonic scale on the 6th string starting on the 5th fret. This is the same fret we've been using as the root of our A7 bar chord for the A blues. The A minor pentatonic scale starting at the 5th fret has 2 notes per string and uses the fingering pattern 1st, 4th, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 4th, 1st, 4th. Playing a G minor pentatonic scale is as easy as moving this pattern down 2 frets starting on G at the 3rd fret on the 6th string. 1st, 4th, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 4th, 1st, 4th. To play a B flat minor pentatonic, find the 6th string B, E, F, G, A, B, then down to the 6th fret, B flat, and play the same pattern. 1st, 4th, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 4th, 1st, 4th. To play the E minor pentatonic scale, we have a few options. First, we can play it using open strings. It's the same pattern as the scale in the other keys, except you don't use your first finger. In this case, the nut replaces where your first finger would have gone. It's played like this. Open 6th, 3rd finger, open 5th string, 2nd finger, open 4th string, 2nd finger, open 3rd string, 2nd finger, open 2nd string, 3rd finger, open 1st string, 3rd finger. We can also play the E minor pentatonic way up at the 12th fret, using the same pattern as before. The 12th fret usually has a different type of marker, 2 dots instead of 1, for instance. It has the same notes as the open string version of the scale, but an octave higher. Let's play the scale here starting with our first finger at the 12th fret. 1st, 4th, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 4th, 1st, 4th. In the practice chapter of this lesson, you can play the minor pentatonic scale with the same single, double, and triple picking patterns you learned in Lesson 2, but this time in new keys. Let's learn some new strumming patterns that you can use to play along with the band in the play chapter of this lesson. The first pattern is very simple, but it's useful in a lot of musical styles. Play on just the 2nd and 4th beats of every bar like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This pattern works really well in blues and rock songs when the drummer is playing snare on 2 and 4. If you keep the strum for each chord nice and sharp, the drums and guitar lock together to sound like one instrument. Let's try this using an E7 5th string bar chord at the 7th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can use this 2 and 4 strumming pattern in the play chapter for the 12-bar blues in E. The next strumming pattern has a shuffle feel and uses all downstrokes. It sounds like this. Let's play this together using a G7 6th string bar chord at the 3rd fret. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... To thicken up the sound, you can try lightly palm muting this pattern. Just lay your strumming hands over the strings, resting lightly on the bridge for this sound. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now let's add a little more backbeat to the feel of this pattern by accenting the 2nd and 4th beats, just like the drummer's snare. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... We'll use this downstroke shuffle pattern for the G blues in the play chapter of this lesson. The last strumming pattern we'll play uses a down-up strumming pattern on 8th notes, like this. Let's play the last pattern using a B-flat 6th string bar chord at the 6th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. To get a nice sharp rhythm, you can use your fretting hand to mute the strings in between each strum. To do this, keep your fingers relaxed in the shape of the chord, but don't push down on the strings. Then every time you strum the chord, press your fingers down on the strings like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. You can use this technique and strumming pattern for the B-flat blues in the play chapter of this lesson. Try some of the exercises in the practice chapter and then move on to the play chapter to play them with the band. The 3 songs all have different styles and feels, but they all use the 12-bar blues chord progressions that you've learned. Have fun. In this section, we'll play the 12-bar blues in E, G, and B-flat. For all of the exercises, we'll use a 4 to the bar strumming pattern. While you're playing, think of the chord numbers and listen to how they relate to the other chords in the progression. Start with the 12-bar blues progression in E in open position using the open E7 chord, the open A7 chord, and the 5th string B7 bar chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's play the E blues using the E7 bar chord, A7 bar chord, and the B7 bar chord. starting with the 5th string E7 bar chord at the 7th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 12-bar blues in G uses G7, C7, and D7 bar chords. Starting with the G7 6th string bar chord at the 3rd fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. And finally, for the 12-bar B-flat blues, we'll use barred B-flat 7, E-flat 7, and F7 chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we'll play the E minor pentatonic scale using 3 different picking patterns. Keep in mind, you can always use the cycle button to repeat these patterns over and over, and use the tempo slider to slow them down to a tempo that's comfortable for you. First, the E minor pentatonic with 4 notes to the bar and a down-up picking pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's play the same scale using the double note pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally, let's use the triple note pattern on this scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's first play the E minor pentatonic with 4 notes to the bar and a down-up picking pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's play the same scale using the double note pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally, let's use the triple note pattern on this scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's first play the G minor pentatonic with 4 notes to the bar and a down-up picking pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's play the same scale using the double note pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally, let's use the triple note pattern on this scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's first play the B-flat minor pentatonic with 4 notes to the bar, down-up picking pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's play the same scale using the double note pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally, let's use the triple note pattern on this scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. For these strumming patterns, use just one chord so you can focus on rhythm. Getting a solid strumming feel is just as important as getting the chords correct, so focus on keeping your rhythm regular and consistent. First, let's strum the pattern with the notes muted, then we'll play it with a chord. Even though the 2 and 4 pattern may seem easy, playing it without speeding up or slowing down can be tricky. Let's try it with muted strings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's do the same thing with a 5th string E7 bar at the 7th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. To keep the strums short and tight, try muting the chords in between each strum with your fretting hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now try the shuffle eighths pattern using all downstrokes. Use the side of your palm to mute the strings a little. You can also accent the 2nd and 4th beats by playing those a little harder. First with the strings muted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and... Focus on keeping your rhythm solid and consistent. Now let's try it with a G7 6th string bar chord at the 3rd fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Let's try this one. Mute the strings with your fretting hand the first time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's try this with a B-flat-7 6th string bar chord at the 6th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can use your fretting hand to mute the strings after each stroke. This will make the rhythm sharper. 1, 2, 3, 4.